Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Gus.
Oh, I'm Gavin.
I'm Kamrin.
I'm Blaine.
And I'm Gus.
What's funny, Blaine?
I just like, I don't know. This is Cameron's first time on the podcast. Welcome, Kamrin.
No, it's not.
Really?
Every week he's been shooting his shot. Anytime someone's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the podcast, Cameron's like,
I'm ready.
I'm
Jokingly,
Spartacus.
Jokingly.
Are you on deck at all times?
I every single time I'm like wrapping up a production, somebody says something like, yeah, Gavin can't make it or Blaine can't make it. And I pop up with like a camera and a light. And I'm like, Gus, if you need me, right here, right now.
He walked into set earlier before we started. He's like, I'm still not convinced this isn't a prank.
Oh, but I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I've been burnt so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just like hearing you say, I'm Kamrin. Like, it's happening.
Yeah, Barbara was having some travel woes
Big
today.
time.
Weather's dog shit.
It's bad. It's really bad.
It's real poo.
No, I
She's
needed
in
this one.
airport hell, it
Yeah.
seems like.
She got a pod in American Air or DFW, which I didn't know that they had the pod hotels there. Have you been in one
Like a
of
place
those?
you take a nap?
Yeah, I guess she stayed there overnight.
So it's like in
Oh,
the
really?
terminal?
Yeah, they're like little
like past security.
it's like the same way that you like see the like little massage parlors at airports and stuff, right? But instead it's just private rooms that are, little sealed pods. I think you can.
How
like,
much are we
listen to music.
talking?
How much
How
bunch?
much bunts?
More than you'd think, I'm sure.
How much would you?
I bet it's like
One time years
50
ago at my old job before Rooster Teeth, I remember I was connecting in Chicago to come back to Austin. It was late at night and there had been bad weather. A bunch of flights were canceled. I remember walking through the terminal, and out in the terminal, there were just like a sea of cots laid out. I was like, oh man, they are expecting some shit. Like this is going to be some people's hell out here tonight.
It says on this thing, nap centers suites are priced at $34 for a 1 hour minimum stay.
Okay.
And then $8.50 for every 15 minutes thereafter. So a flat overnight rate is $125. That's not bad.
How much
it's
for
like
a quick wank?
How private are we talking?
$34 for a wank.
Give me your most private pod room.
I think that's neat. How many are there?
I don't know. I can look.
Pod room. Can we do a podcast from there?
A podcast?
How big are they? Can we get 4 people in there?
I bet the audio is great. I bet it's nice and quiet and cozy.
Whisper room, yeah.
Oh yeah, we
But,
need
like,
one microphone.
Do we have anybody in the cast that would be like claustrophobic though? Are you
No,
claustrophobic?
we should absolutely put them on then.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
the
no.
opposite of claustrophobic.
You like?
Squash me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I've only been
Oh, dear.
claustrophobic once, I think. And it was like, I went out to Enchanted Rock, and you know how you can like go in?
Into
Yeah.
the rock.
Oh yeah.
I did that once, and I was like, okay, I'm not claustrophobic, but this is too much.
I think
like at one point, like I was like kind of half stuck, and I'm kind of long, you know, kind of like half stuck, like spinning around, and I look, and it's like, oh, there's a wall of spiders on right, like 3 inches from my face. Like I need to keep moving now. like that was too much.
Splunking is horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get claustrophobic until I see a video of somebody being like, "This is the exact like underwater cave where this guy got trapped." And it's like,
Yeah, and you had to like,
it's-
dislocate
it's-
his collarbone to get him out and all that.
There was like
Good
I
times.
saw a diagram of like a cave system that a guy died in, and like they showed like the 3D map, you know,
Yeah.
like the side view, like when you're looking at like an ant farm, and basically he had just like lodged himself in upside down, like half a mile underground, and I was like, that's the worst death imaginable.
Yeah, maybe I'm getting a little bit claustrophobic. I remember the story. There was some woman who was like crawling through some ducts or a vent or something,
Oh.
and fell down a shaft, but like fell and there wasn't enough room for her to like level out, so
Slowly
she
got
just
wedged
fell
in.
and was just stuck like upside down.
Oh, God.
And
That was
couldn't-
in Austin.
Yeah, wasn't that in Austin?
Yeah.
I feel like
she's still there. Did she get out?
No,
No,
she did
she
not
died.
get out.
Oh,
like,
God.
I think it was like, if I remember right, it was like a exhaust from like a restaurant kitchen. So it was like hot air was hitting her.
Hot, greasy air.
Yeah.
cooked,
You also can't be upside down for that long before you just peg it.
you know, from experience.
Being upside down sucks.
Yeah. Well, were you in that immersion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went off got off like a 16-hour flight, landed on an Australian morning and was strung upside
Well,
down.
see,
by
you
it.
think that would be the best time to do it. Because when you land in Australia, you're upside down already.
Yeah, you weren't
So
active.
then
Oh,
when
they
they
just
hang
put
you
me
upside
back
down, you're back in your North American orientation. You're just on the wrong side of the world for it.
Just, God, I remember you and Michael, and I think it was like James or Bruce, just looked like shit the rest of the weekend for RTX.
Well, we went. I think that was the test day, and we actually did the main shoot the day after.
Yeah.
But we landed, and went straight to that test to be like, oh, I wonder if this works.
Was that the third-person view one, the like Resident Evil?
No, this
was
was
The Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Last of Us, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the next day is when we were upside down for the longest, and that's when all the blood vessels in my eyes started to pop.
You can only do that for a very short amount of time before
yeah.
it's bad.
Because I directed that one, and we brought you out there initially to test if your body was even capable and if you were comfortable. Because the worst case scenario would have been you come out on the shoot day strung upside down, and then you fucking hate it, and then we'd have to replace you.
Yeah, I mean, I hated it.
Yeah, it was a very funny video. I watched it the other day. I went
you
through a
really?
bunch of my old content, and I was just like, this
Dude.
one is fun.
All those immersions were pretty painful at the time, but look back on them all fondly.
Yeah.
They were a lot of fun to make.
I dabbled with a couple of
Even
them, but
getting shot in the
it was
mouth.
mostly, I think, like Daniel Fabello directed like the last season or so, and just put such a level of polish on them, and they were so much fun. And the Hitman one we did at RTX here in Austin, that was fucking a blast. Good
Did
times.
you get claustrophobic in the episode of Haunter where we buried you?
In the coffin? No.
Yeah. No?
What was annoying was that I couldn't like lift my knees without them hitting the roof of the
Yeah.
coffin. So I couldn't like when I was like cramping up, I was like, I can't really stretch or like move.
Isn't that the definition of claustrophobia?
No, because I wasn't scared. I was just like, I was just uncomfortable.
Yeah, physically uncomfortable.
But I could have fallen asleep in there. It
Oh,
was
really?
nice. Yeah.
Do a little weighted blanket in there.
Yeah, the weighted blanket might not be needed, but I remember just lying in there thinking, this would be someone's worst nightmare.
I tested that space ahead of you getting into it because I had to rig all the cameras for that show. And so we had the little like night vision cameras that went in there and they closed the coffin to make sure that the framing was right. And I laid there for 15 seconds. I was like, Gavin's going to lose his mind. And then we started rolling and they kept checking in on you every like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I had an air pipe. It was a little bit scary when they just lifted it up and started like shaking it around with the digger thing.
I 100%, if I'd been there, I would have farted in that air pipe. I mean, I would have seen that hole in the ground, and I would have just let it loose in that air pipe. You would have heard a trumpet from above.
Yeah. What would I have done there? I couldn't have got away from it. Would have
Plug
just had
the
to
hole.
Would
embrace
have
it.
done nothing. Yeah.
I'd rather suffocate.
Start blowing out of the hole to like force all the fart back
I'll
out.
try and fart back up the hole.
I regret so much that I was never able to do one of those Haunter shoots. They looked like so much fun.
I was just talking about them the other day because I had the fun job of camera rigging for that show where we would show up at a location, have a rough plan of where we wanted cameras to go, but there's so many GoPros and night vision cameras, stuff like that. They would give me like the tourist map, to like the haunted battleship or something with rooms circled, and they'd be like, just put a GoPro in there. So I'm walking around this presumably haunted battleship or house or whatever it was with like 15 cameras, no clue where I'm going. Everyone trying to scare me the entire time.
The ghosts were no help.
The ghosts were not helpful at all. They were like, "Are you in 4K?" And I was like, "I'm not sure, actually."
30 frames per second.
There's a great thing about GoPros where the first frame of every clip is like someone going like making like a GoPro stretch face.
Yeah.
The best GoPro experience I've ever had was we were doing it was the Star Wars Battlefront jetpack immersion that you guys weren't in. It was me and Chris. I directed it, so of course I put myself in it because I wanted to even fly in a jetpack. And we had to shoot a paintball gun at 3 mannequins, and then we turned the mannequins into actual people that were shooting back at us.
Who got
Anyway,
a paintball? Did someone get hit in the face?
No, that was you on the Mass
No, I
Effect
know I got hit in
immersion.
the face. I just thought someone else got hit in the face.
I got fucking pegged right on the neck.
the neck,
I mean,
that
I
was
was like airborne up in the air.
That was
and
what
then
I'm thinking of.
I think it was Barbara, fucking sniped me from like 150, 200 feet. It was crazy. But yeah, no, we dropped a GoPro at one point. I think Chris crash landed, and we dropped a GoPro into this like murky, like waist high, chest high lake. And we got in a line, held hands, and then we all just shuffled our feet across the ground to see if we could find it. We took our shoes off. And I remember our DP, Jason Harder, just went, just disappears into the water for a bit. He comes back, just goes, "Ah!" And everyone was like, "Ah!" It was Northman. It was Northman.
He's like, "I've saved the $200 camera that's out of date
Well, the
already."
footage is probably what you're
The
after.
footage,
guess that's
yeah,
true.
fuck the GoPros,
Yeah.
the footage. We lost our shit. It was the
That's
greatest.
funny. I would not.
That's the kind of thing you're just like, it's gone.
Yeah.
We're not finding that again.
We
Like,
had
no, it's in that body of water. No, it's no.
I'm not sure if I've told this on the podcast, but we did a slow-mo shoot in Iceland where we were filming like geysers and stuff in
Yeah.
slow-mo. And then at the end of the day, we put the Phantom. We were also filming that with a drone. And then at the end of the day, we put the Phantom on the drone and just flew over a waterfall and just like flew off into the distance. And it was like hovering there. And I was like, all right, checking all the triggers. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, whenever you're ready, drone operator, go. And as I watched it disappear off, I was like, I didn't change the mags. All of our footage from the geysers earlier,
No.
I could have just swapped them. But I've sent all of our footage from the entire day. And it was when like the drone was a little dot in the distance. I was like,
You hear like a peal of thunder in the background. You're like, oh, I've done it now.
that was a show where I was just doing too many jobs. Like
Yeah.
I was directing it, I was in it, I was the Phantom op, and then I was the DIT, so I had to download everything at the end of the day. And I was like,
You forgot to do your
I've
DIT job.
forgotten the important bit. Yeah, I didn't mention it. I was just like, when it came back, I was like,
You just held it shaking like it was your
download the
baby.
footage now.
I realized I'm nearing the end of my private
Life.
pilot lessons.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
I'm going to be getting my certificate soon, and I started thinking, I was like, I wonder what it takes to become to get a commercial drone operator license.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
is it similar paths?
Once you have a private pilot license, you just have to take a 2-hour online course to get a commercial drone certificate. So
Damn.
oh,
So you
so
could
it's
fly
like-
some serious
yeah,
drones.
as soon as I get my pilot license, like, oh, I'm just gonna take like the 2-hour online course and get like a commercial drone license, and we get some like big honking drones and like do some serious shit with them.
There's a whole gimmick, or not gimmick. The guy who does it is perfectly qualified. But this 17-year-old was the drone operator for that ambulance movie, the Michael Bay thing.
That's what made me think about it, actually.
I'm like, they should do ambulance too, where instead of getting a 17-year-old, they get Gus, the opposite of a 17-year-old, I'd say. And
I don't know. These drones are moving kind of fast.
Yeah.
What if we slowed it down a little bit here?
back in my day,
Let's play it safe.
Yeah, exactly.
What cameras did he have on the drones in the ambulance?
Probably Reds, because that's Michael Bay's thing.
Is it?
Yeah, he's a big red guy.
Big Red, huh?
Big Red. Just
Didn't
like
they make him a
just like
special camera at one point?
No, that was
Was that someone else?
the director Ridley Scott for Alien. They made him a xenomorph looking camera. It looks sick.
I think I saw that
They didn't use it. It was too heavy.
fucking Aquaman has like a custom. No, or was it Josh
Yeah,
Brolin? I can't remember.
he has a Jason Momoa. He's like an ambassador for Red, so he has like a gold-plated Komodo.
Jason Momoa is an ambassador for everything that I want. Like he like did this thing with like one of those camper van companies. So I think they just gave him his own custom camper van. Like, dude's making like $500K a year off of just free shit alone, and it's just like, fuck, that's so cool.
Speaking of vans, have you seen that? I guess I missed it when they announced it back like in February or March, but Volkswagen announced that they're going to release an electric bus in the vein of like their old buses from like the 60s
Yeah, I've
and
seen
70s.
it. It's so cool.
Damn.
It's got a dumb as fuck name. They call it the ID Buzz,
Okay.
but it looks super cool.
Can we get a picture of that? Because that sounds rad. I'm horny for that. I loved their old school Volkswagen buses. Those things are so cool.
I'll see if I can find it here. Volkswagen ID Buzz. I can show you. I'm sure they can find one for.
It will weigh 7,000 pounds minimum.
Because of the batteries?
Yeah, it's already a big hunkin' vehicle. Look how big it is.
It's too
looks-
open. Like
It doesn't look anything.
Why
like,
did they make it look different?
Yeah.
because it's like you can see straight into that thing. I feel like
What?
you want the sliding doors and shit.
It has sliding doors.
It just looks weird.
Why
I
does
don't
it
know.
look cell shaded?
Well, it's also like I almost feel like because it's a concept vehicle right now. Once they release the like actual like normal manufactured version, it'll look more appropriate.
Well, this is going to be it.
That's the final
They're rolling it out in. I think it launches in Europe first,
look at
like
it.
next year, and then it comes to North America in
I think
2024.
they wrecked it.
A little too cool.
It's got like the essence, but it's still it's off the mark. It looks like it's half the size of the original van.
What are you talking about?
It needs to have a flat
You have no
front.
frame of reference. You're looking at a picture. That could be a Hot Wheel.
I
for
can
all you
use
know.
the fucking seats and the steering wheel and the wheels as a
You
reference
can't
point.
see the seats or the steering wheel. That's like
That's like a
4
mid-size
pixels.
SUV,
Look
bro.
at the
It's
door
tiny.
handles. That's the size of a hand.
See, saying a door handle or the tires, I could respect.
Well, a tire could be
Blaine
any
is picking
size.
small details.
The rear view mirror, the headlights, the door handles, all of it is reference points.
What's that antenna
Yeah,
on top?
the satellite antenna
Enhance.
on top.
It's tiny. It's a baby. It's half the size of the original. Yeah, you could get in and fuck in the old ones. This one, you'd have to pull
You
down
could
the seats
shag
and
in
fold
that.
them
Could,
down.
pretty
Yeah, but you get all claustrophobic, like you're
You
in the
could
haunter.
have a $34 wank in there.
Tell you what, Volkswagen, if you want to sell vans, send us one. Blaine will prove that you can fuck in one of their vans.
Yeah.
You're going to sell them like crazy.
That reminds me of we were talking about some of the guys earlier. BMW did that thing with you forever ago. I don't know if that ever got launched. I hope it didn't just breach the NDA. So he gave us 2 BMW Z, I don't care. And we had them over the weekend, and I needed to drive one to set. So I asked Brandon, and I was like, hey, can I just take one home? Because I'm going to drive from my house to location. So they let me, and then I remember just driving around downtown, and I look over, and you and Dan were next to me, and you guys were just it was like Ferris Bueller's Day Off when he sees his dad. You guys were and I was just like I had stolen the car.
Enjoying the Beamer, are you, Blaine?
Yeah, I was like, drove off. That was great.
Yeah, we did that was a weird one because we gave them 2 concepts and we filmed both of them for some reason and only put out one.
We filmed more than 2. I think we filmed a lot. One of them I know did not make the cut. I also don't think it turned out how you expected it to, without getting into a bunch of details. But yeah, it was a fun shoot. That was out in
Is that where we all almost died?
yeah, that's why I didn't want to say it. That was out in Dripping Springs, I think, is where we shot that.
Yeah.
No, that would have been 4 dead and stupid car crash.
Did you almost die?
Intern driving for some reason.
Was it like a safety feature that failed and you're like, ooh, we can't put this video out, that's for sure.
No, it was just it would have been a dumb idea in any car, even that
sure.
fucking Volkswagen that's tiny, Gus.
It's a good size. Why am I defending this fucking
I don't know.
bus?
You love Tesla.
Because you don't like it.
You're the muskrat.
Don't ever call me that.
I'm coining that term, muskrat. Big Elon Musk fan, you're a muskrat.
Oh, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. Huh. Our new Twitter overlord.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm. How long before...
He shuts us down any day.
No, Trump gets back on.
I hadn't even thought about that. It's
Over
a free speech
under
platform.
3 weeks. Well, wait, what's his Truth is his new platform? How long do we give that? Because I believe Truth will...
Is it still around?
Isn't it?
I thought that was... I thought they had another social media.
It's almost like they're putting them out like hotcakes because they make money and then shut it down. I say as soon as that one dies, he's back.
Oh, it's around.
Oh, good. Is Kamrin Pester at
Download
Kamrin
on the
Pester
App Store.
available?
Download on the
Not
App
anymore.
Store. Coming soon, Google Play Store. I always feel like
Coming soon.
apps launch on the Google Play Store first, and then they come to the iOS App Store later. It's weird that
I feel
it's the other way around here.
Do you think it's because Google has lower standards and Apple needs to endure more
No, it's not that
testing?
Google has lower. It's that Apple is a huge pain in the dick
Right.
to get anything approved by and to have anything to deal with when it comes to app approval. I know when I used to head up events and we used to have to push the RTX app every
It was
year.
a pain in your dick.
It was a huge pain in the ass. When's the deadline to submit it so that they can approve it and get it out? Oh my God, they haven't approved it yet, even though it's been weeks. Mm-hmm. It's just a huge pain.
And you have to make them separately too, right? Like that, it's going to operate differently on an Apple app. So you're just like, I'm going to make the easy one first, and then when no one likes it, I'll just stop. It's fine.
I wonder, can you see what your most used app is?
Yeah, if you can, there's
settings.
what do they call it? Activity monitor?
Yeah.
Screen time?
Yours is
Screen
probably
time, that might be it.
Is yours the home slice iPhone app?
No.
No, oh wait, it is.
They don't have an app, but somehow it still is the most used app. Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know why I'm looking this up. I don't care. It's probably Chrome.
It's riveting content. You use Chrome on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Why
know?
wouldn't you?
I use Safari on my phone.
Oh, you. Ugh.
Use Chrome on your
Chrome's nice because you
on your
can,
desktop and your laptop too.
Yeah.
you can link all the accounts. So
Yeah.
you get all the same bookmarks and stuff.
You can do that with Safari too.
Well, sure, but I just mean if you use one, do you use Safari on your desktop and everything?
I use
too?
Firefox over here.
What is going on?
Oh, yeah. What are you
Man.
doing?
Well, I mean, I just try not to support Google whenever possible.
That's
why?
fair.
What?
Am I crazy? What am I missing? What's up with Google?
Don't want to give them my information.
Didn't you yell at Blaine once for using an ad blocker?
Yeah.
And you don't want to use Google products when all of our stuff's on YouTube?
Listen, it's the dichotomy of being Gus.
Sure.
It's very complicated, but it's a very narrow minefield I can walk.
Whatever,
It's not.
muskrat.
It's not easy being Gus every day.
What kind of information do you think Gus's Tesla is selling about him?
Oh, man.
Gus is like, hey, Spotify, do you want to know what Gus is listening
I
to
don't think I've ever used Spotify.
Really?
Wait, really?
Yeah, I
Like,
told you this the
ever?
other day. You told me the Gang Beast soundtrack was on Spotify, and I was like, oh, I guess I got to finally install Spotify, huh?
Do you use Winamp?
Winamp? No, I've not used Winamp in years. But it does really whip the llama's ass.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Music.
Do you listen to music?
I like chamber music.
Chamber? What?
Legitimately though, like
What?
legitimately, like what do you listen to?
Sometimes I crack myself up. That was one of them.
You're like beat red from how much you're laughing at your own joke.
It's really funny.
I'm having a more Gus making himself laugh. He's out.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Was that the first self leave? Leaving because of him?
Jeez. The duality of Gus.
It's not even that funny. It just got me just right.
I was thinking the other day, I mainly listened to the music that my mum listened to in her car when I was about 3.
Okay.
Which was 80s crap at the time. And then I was thinking, if I had a kid, he would be listening to the stuff that my mum listened to in her car when I was 3. Like, it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
He's playing it for his friends at school, and it's just like, yeah, my grandma says that this one really rips. I love this.
Hall & Oates, baby.
Have you heard of this new band, Def Leppard?
It's not spelled the way you think it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Neither word.
Drummer has one hand. It's nuts.
Oh man. Yeah, it's a lot of like older stuff, like 80s,
Okay.
90s stuff. Nothing made since the 2000s.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can agree.
That's fair enough. I go through this music phase where I will find new music that I like, and I will exclusively listen to it until I hate it. I hate every sound that comes out of it.
Oh, like you like listen to that same song on repeat?
Yeah, I'll be like, this album is changing my life, and I'm going to let it do that for 4 days, and I'm going to listen to it 15 times, and I'll never touch it again because I can't hear it again.
Yeah.
We had Raquel Lilly out with us last week, hang out, and I love her music, and I've been listening to it like crazy, and I'm like cautiously letting myself listen to it. I'm like, no, I want to keep listening to this, and we like Raquel. I'm going to keep working with Raquel. I can't like listen myself out of.
Until you
It's like
fucking hate
burnout.
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No, I hear that.
I don't ever listen. I feel like I don't want to hear the same song over and over and over again.
Yeah. I think it's a weird thing.
Do you actually like put a song on repeat ever?
I'll
one
like,
song?
you know how you can like cue things on Spotify? You like pull it to the right or swipe right. And
I've never used
cue-
Spotify.
You also never used Spotify?
What do you use?
Apple Music?
I don't really.
CDs? Like, what's going on?
I got like iTunes from a while ago. Just got songs on my phone.
I think you're like me.
This is nuts.
I just bought songs when you bought music.
These guys, can you imagine owning music? That's ridiculous.
I'm actually going to invest in a record player. I've been doing more vinyl stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's so fucking dumb, and I don't know why I'm doing it. But there's just something about owning that physical disc, you know?
It's cool.
It's fun.
It's cool.
In the most fragile, inconvenient form possible.
Yeah, truly. I
we'll
spent
die.
way too fucking much money finding the Steven Universe vinyl collection for my girlfriend for like Valentine's Day too, and I fucking hate Valentine's Day, but I wanted to make it special because it's her first one, so I got that fucking thing, and I paid like 4 times as much it's worth. But it's
It's
a
the
good
spirit of
record.
the holiday.
Why don't you like Valentine's Day?
Because it's bullshit. It's invented
is quite
by
commercial.
No,
corporations.
it's all bullshit, Blaine.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
birthday? Bullshit.
That's what I've been saying for years.
That's fine.
Blaine's birthday is bullshit.
No, like, I mean, I don't know. Christmas, there's like a sense of tradition, or you know, Hanukkah, if that's your thing. Like, there's years, generations that people have been celebrating that. Like, Valentine's, I don't feel like became
It's not old enough?
prominent until like.
When did Valentine's Day really pick up? That's what I'm curious
Yeah.
now.
When was Saint Valentine?
When can we start saying a Valentine's Day of old? We've really gotten away from the roots of this tradition.
Nice.
When
Halloween,
was Christmas invented?
huh? Christmas invented?
Year 0. I believe.
08.
One.
They didn't start
sorry.
celebrating it at year 1, though.
Around the year 336, I had to look it up. Also, I was
For Christmas?
curious.
Wasn't it some like pagan shit?
Is that when Hallmark
Yeah,
started
it was
as well?
Rome started celebrating in 336.
So they didn't celebrate Jesus
It did
while
not
he was
become a
knocking
major
about.
Christian festival until the 9th century.
Till the 9th? Okay.
Wonder if they were all just kind of bummed that year. They're like, nothing's really going on. Let's get something going.
It's the one thing that makes like December in the winter.
Well, and the Lexus December.
the
to remember
9th
it.
century?
That too, we can't forget.
You just said 300.
300 is when it started. The 9th century is when it became prominent a prominent Christian festival.
Bro, that's when Northman takes place.
The earliest surviving Valentines in English appear to be written in 1477.
1477.
Yes.
By the card companies.
By Marjorie Bruce to her future husband, John Paston.
I would go back in
Quote,
time and
my right
assassinate her.
well-beloved Valentine.
Nah, I'd kill her, and then I'd make a stop in the 19-teens.
Valentine's Day is mentioned ruefully by Ophelia in William Shakespeare's Hamlet from the year 1600.
I'm just adding a historic hit list of people I would time travel back in time to
Should I kill a
off.
fictional character from Hamlet?
Is
she on the list
Shakespeare on
now?
there?
No, but Shakespeare is.
Shakespeare's gone.
You'd knock out Shakespeare.
No, I would. The room full of men who collectively are known as Shakespeare.
Like the Banksy of the 1600s.
What?
Did I blow your mind?
What'd you say?
The Banksy of the 1600s?
Oh, wow, yeah. Interesting. Wait, so do we know who Banksy is? Is he a
No.
face?
I thought it was the guy from Massive Attack.
What?
No, it's me.
Is it you? Are you Banksy?
I'm
Could it
Banksy.
be?
Can you make me some money? 'Cause
Gus
I'm
pulls the
fucking
set
broke.
down. It's like a spray painted child on the wall behind us.
My greatest work of art.
the company I talked about.
14 years of podcasting.
The RT
I'll now-
podcast is one big Banksy project.
I'll now sell it to Elon Musk for $41 billion.
Isn't he based out of like England?
No, he's out of Austin. He moved here.
Throw
Yeah.
my coffee mug at your head.
Yeah, Banksy's English, I think.
Yeah, because this is where most of his shit is. I think. Can you imagine like what a jackpot it must be for your, shitty failing cafe on the corner of some asshole
Wow.
town suddenly has a Banksy, and then you get to fucking excavate that wall and then like sell it for whatever. Like, isn't that how that
then
works?
Or you can appreciate the art forever.
Yeah.
But it's not going to sit. No, you live in Austin, where all of our great art is constantly painted over by jackasses.
Isn't that kind of the point of street art?
Are you trying to get all?
I'm just saying, like, if art is for public consumption on the street, who really owns it? Like, if you leave it there, is it not fair game for someone else to put other art? Who is the person who puts more value on one piece of art versus another?
I guess what I'm saying though, and I know this is all subjective, subjective.
Yes.
Is like if I were to spend hours painting the fucking Rooster Teeth logo on this wall, and then some idiot just scrabbles like mashed potato or some shit, like those taggers.
My tagging name, mashed potato.
Like you're like fuck, like that's art, and then you got like some dipshit writing his little initials.
I think, yeah, you're right. There's definitely like tiers, right? Like we're like just tagging versus actually making something. But in the end, it's like if it's on a wall, like if the
fair game.
original piece was also uncommissioned and is just graffiti, like what's to differentiate graffiti from street art in like the example you're giving?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
effort.
I don't think there is
If
really a
you
distinction.
woke up after a heavy night of drinking and someone had tattooed twat on your forehead, but it was Banksy, would you be happy or sad?
I'd be pretty fucking pissed.
Would you really? It's a Banksy, Blaine.
I would kill him.
You can't sell your face to somebody afterwards. I guess you could, but no one's going to be like, I'm going to pay $10 to look at Blaine's face today.
The
No
amount
offense.
of money to like take that off surgically and then get skin grafts to replace it would like offset the cost of what like it would be like I would
think-
sell it for equal for what the surgery.
I
would
think
be.
you can make some good money. You just put your head through a hole in an art gallery once a week. I think you'll make a killing.
Can you imagine my head just like sticking out like a moose or whatever and just
That seems like an almost foolproof modern art concept you've just kind of willed
Twat?
into existence. Yeah, just putting art on your face and putting it through a wall at a modern art
I
gallery.
fucking
I could see that.
And you
hate
could sell
modern art.
prints. Like you put your face on a copy
Oh, yeah.
machine and just like Xerox it.
You could make another similar sized hole next to yours, and people could put their face through it, and they could get a picture taken with you.
I like right now the set is warm and air conditioned and I'm feeling sweaty. This is the exact feeling I have whenever I walk through a modern art museum. Modern art pisses me off so bad. I've only been like when like art strikes you and you're just like in awe of something. That's only happened to me with one modern art piece. I think it was in London, your hometown. I don't know if you're from there. It was just this tower of electronics, and as you moved around it, like you could hear different like wavelengths, and it had like radios and all these things. And it was the most beautiful thing. But other than that, I was just like, this fucking sucks. Why did I waste my fucking $10? This fucking sucks. Modern art sucks.
But you really liked One Piece.
Yeah.
That wasn't worth the $10? 10 quid?
10 quid? Like, God, you and me, the same money wavelength.
No, because right before I went in, there was a place that had high Yelp reviews. And it was like, this is a great place if you're stopping by the museum. And it was a tourist trap. And they took like a lot of money from me because they were like, oh yeah, it's for tip or whatever. And I was like, you guys don't do that here. I don't know. I like got into the fight with the guy and he was just like, yeah, it was just shitty. It says like Chef Boyardee. Yeah.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Stamps.com. If you've got a small business, inflation isn't doing you any favors right now. It's harder than ever to stay profitable. If you're looking for a way to cut costs, mailing and shipping is a great place to start. Simply use Stamps.com to mail and ship. Get access to exclusive discounts and great rates on shipping from USPS and UPS. It's an easy way to keep more money in your pocket. Stamps.com has really made the world of mailing easier than ever. I can get back to the fun stuff I want to do. I've been talking about them for a long time now. They're really that good. You got a printer? Print some stamps. Why don't you print some stamps? Put some stamps, get some stamps from the printer. It's easy. You don't have to go anywhere. Get the stamps at home. No matter what business you're in, Stamps.com can help you save on shipping. Whether you're an office sending invoices, an Etsy shop sending your products, or a warehouse shipping out truckloads of orders, Stamps.com is the mailing and shipping solution for you. Sell for multiple stores? No problem. Stamps.com seamlessly works with Shopify, Amazon, Etsy, eBay, and more. All you need is a regular computer and a printer. No special supplies or equipment. You'll be up and running in minutes, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send. Start mailing and shipping with Stamps.com. Keep more money in your pocket every day. Sign up with promo code Rooster for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com. Click the microphone at the top of the page. Enter code Rooster. This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Every Plate. Every Plate is America's best value meal kit. While most meal kits come with a premium price tag, Every Plate offers delicious dinners that won't break the bank. Every Plate's quality ingredients come carefully packaged and pre-portioned, helping you save money and reduce food waste, like that bag of mixed greens you throw out almost every week. I'm talking to you. As a result, Every Plate is 25% cheaper than grocery shopping, making it the easiest way to eat affordably. For those looking for a quick and satisfying fix, Every Plate now offers a selection of recipes that come together in just 20 to 25 minutes, as well as easy cleanup options, cheaper and faster. It's a win-win. I've used Every Plate. I can tell you it's really fast, easy, cheap. I love being able to cook stuff. I get stuff exactly what I need. I can make myself a meal, and there's no waste, nothing you're done. You're like, I'm never going to use this, throw this away. No waste. It's exactly what you need. Make a delicious meal. You eat it. So if you're looking for a new meal kit, look no further than Every Plate. They're America's best value. Try Every Plate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com, entering code Rooster179. That's Rooster179 when you go to everyplate.com. ROOSTER 179. That's the important part. I got to spell it for you. Thanks, Every Plate. Eat up. This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by DoorDash. You got back-to-back meetings, errands to run, chores to take care of. What's the secret to clearing your to-do list? A little help from DoorDash. You can get dinner, household essentials, everything you need on your grocery list, all delivered. DoorDash is easy to use. That's pretty much everything I need to get me what I need when I'm on the go. If I'm in a pinch or my tummy's rumbling, I got DoorDash on my side. They get what you want to eat right now, right to your door. Along with the restaurants you love, you can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash, drinks, snacks, other household items in under an hour. Craving late night ice cream? Forget one key ingredient for dinner, or maybe just need to stock up for the week? It's all easy to use. It's right there in the app. With over 300,000 partners, you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, Cheesecake Factory. Ordering's easy. Your items will be left safely outside your door when you choose contactless delivery drop-off. I like that. For a limited time, our listeners get 25% off and zero delivery fees on the first order of $15 or more. When you download the DoorDash app, enter code Rooster. That's 25% off, up to $10 value, and zero delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code Rooster. Don't forget, that's code Rooster for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change. Terms apply. We talked about this a couple weeks ago on the podcast. We see that art installation that's like that robotic arm that leaks hydraulic fluid.
Oh, yeah.
And it recollects the hydraulic fluid.
Itself
right. And like when they first installed it, the leak wasn't that bad, so it had time to do like a happy dance. But then as the years went on, the leak got worse and worse, so it had no time other than to like frenetically try to replace its hydraulic fluid until eventually the leak overwhelmed it and it seized up and stopped working.
They had like a timeline to it?
Yeah, it took a few years.
But it's not really doing that, though.
That's what I'm saying. Is it pre-programmed or was
Cool,
it like
yeah.
autonomous?
I'm sure it was just on a timer. They were just like, it's eventually. It's,
I bet they just
we can
changed-
roughly estimate when it's going to fail based on how much it's. You probably could do that math. But I think that was the whole point of it.
Yeah. I don't know how, like, what level of autonomy it had. Probably just like was programmed to sweep the floor.
Did it even use hydraulic fluid?
Squeegee. Yeah. Why wouldn't it?
What if it's not hydraulic?
Gavin and Blaine think it's all set up.
I think it is.
Yeah,
I feel like it is.
We're all buying into the Hallmark bullshit that was hydraulic arm.
Let's take. What about the hydraulic days of yore?
Yeah, exactly. Back in my day, hydraulic arms died of their own accord.
On their own timeline.
I one time stayed at I think it was the Yotel in New York City, and they
That's a piece of shit.
it is because they have in the front this big display, and it's a robotic arm thing. You stick your piece of luggage in, and then it just goes, and then it like sticks it in a cubby for you, and everyone's like taking video. Wow! It's just the stupidest shit.
Then you get in your room and it's so tiny, and the bed is like a couch that folds out and then crushes all your shit against the wall, and there's no room to move.
I've walked past that place. Like when we did New York Comic Con, the Yotel is kind of by the Javits Center, or there's one by the Javits Center, I think, right? I would walk by it.
That'll be $600, please.
Yeah,
Something like that.
little
Yeah,
pricey.
I remember staying in New York City for the first time on my own in college and thinking the $400 that I had spent on like a Holiday Inn room was going to be well worth it. And then it was the smallest room I've ever been in my life. I was like, this money goes nowhere here, apparently. I get it now.
the first time we had an event in London, this would have been back like in 2004, I think. Like it's when you and I met for the first time.
No.
October 04.
Like I was trying to book a hotel for us to stay somewhere convenient in London. I'd never been. This is my first trip to London. I'd never been there before. It's like, I don't know. I found like a Marriott, and it was like $800 a night or something. I was like, and everything was super expensive. Like, what the fuck? $800 for a Marriott? Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, this better be the nicest hotel in the world when I get there. You get to the land in Heathrow, tell the cab driver where we're going, and he drives us there, and it's like, you see this hotel in every film that's ever set in London. It's the one that's like right at the base of the London Eye, right across from Big Ben and Parliament. You're like, oh, that's why this is $800 a night. It's a Marriott, but it's like looks like an old castle.
The Marriott.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've never been in London, but I have seen this building 1,000 times in everything that's ever filmed in London.
You forgot to map quest how close your Marriott was to the London Eye.
Yeah, I remember messaging Jason on the website, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm all up by Big Ben and shit," and he was like literally right up.
Yeah, like you open the window, it's like, oh, it's right there.
You get mad because it's so loud. You're like, oh, Big Ben's waking me up again.
We did the Face Jam live show in Chicago, and I flew out there with the docuseries that I was working on, and they put us in a really, really nice hotel.
Who's they?
Events. They booked all our travel and stuff. And I was like, dang, guys, this is like, we're pulling out all the bells and whistles. And I came to find out that it's because the hotel had a partnership with the venue that we were staying at. And we got the hotel room for like a quarter of the cost. Still very grateful, but I was definitely like, I felt really
Tarnished it a little bit.
I felt posh and like really like overly cared for because no one's ever given me a nice hotel room.
I'd be willing to bet that you two have stayed in very nice places. Like, what's the bougiest setup you've ever had? Like, would you say yours was the Marriott in London?
No, that's one of the most expensive, but I've definitely been in bougier places.
Yeah.
Man, the bougiest place I've ever been. I feel like it's bragging though.
But I'm asking you to brag. You're not going to be an asshole. You're an asshole because you support Elon Musk. No, I'm asking because I'm like mine was Intercontinental in it was either Sydney or whatever Melbourne, and I was like, this is the fucking nicest hotel I've ever stayed in before.
The nicest hotel I've probably ever stayed at is the Park Hyatt in Seoul. It's in Gangnam, and it's like you open up the window. Like, first of all, the bathroom has like this raw rock wall that was just like beautiful, and then you like open up the windows, and it's like this super iconic intersection in Seoul with like all these people walking around, and like these. It's right across from the COEX Mall, and like this weird, like super futuristic billboards, like the kind of billboards that look like they're coming out at you in the 3D
Blade
style.
Runner shit?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Is that real?
yeah, and it's like obviously you have to be standing from a certain angle. Like
Right.
really from any other angle, it doesn't do that. But it's like, oh man, like that was like super cool and like awesome. Like it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I went to the
What was the lower third? I missed it. I see chat talking about it.
Yeah, something Tesla.
Tesla thing.
Ugh.
I went to the Park Hyatt in Tokyo, which was pretty nice. I went with It was. I mean, I was sharing a room with Bernie because we just had like one night where we had to be there.
So you do need to depreciate your value of this 50%. You had to share these scary.
But it was a really nice hotel. The lobby's like on floor pretty low down, and then the lift is just like it goes from like 4 to like 38 or something. It's just like a big long travel. But you sit down and it's like you're buying a house together when you check in. It's like a little desk and
I've been
really cool.
I've been to that hotel too, and I ran into someone who recognized me on the first floor. It was also staying in the same hotel.
Damn.
It was like the weirdest coincidence because it's, I don't know, it's like a very low traffic place. It's like it's an office building for like the first 35 floors.
Yeah.
And then the hotel starts like on floor 36.
got some sick views.
Yeah, it's like if you've ever watched Lost in Translation, like that's the hotel where they filmed in, like the bar that they hang out in.
Oh, that's
With
cool.
like the lounge singer and all of that stuff. It's like you go there, it's like, oh, like I've seen this in that movie. It's just cool to see like the real version of what am I saying? The set where they film something.
We had a really nice hotel when they put us up in for RTX London. It was nice in my opinion, by my standards. It was like on the Isle of Dogs, and I remember I went in to the bathroom and I was like, there was this like red thing hanging from the ceiling, and I didn't know what it was, and I just happened to like pull it, or I put clothes on it, and it was like an emergency cord for if an old person fell. And it started like as soon as I pulled it, I didn't know what I had done, and all these red lights started flashing, and then I heard like someone sprinting down the hall. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I didn't know what that thing did, but I'm sorry. Can you reset it?
That's how that
You're a
guy gets his
liability.
workout every day. He's doing it like
Sprinting
15
for old
times.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. Someone saying that you go up and then the lobby's on like the
Yeah.
30. Yeah.
I was trying to think of my answer to this because I feel like I've been in a lot of nice hotels. I have been in a lot of nice hotels always to film there, and then I have to get in a shuttle bus and like go back to our holiday
Motel
Inn.
6.
I've been out in LA and stuff, and we've filmed stuff in hotel lobbies that are incredible, like exactly what you'd see in a big blockbuster movie. And they'd be like, "All right, everyone, back to your $75 a night Red Roof Inn. Like, enjoy your bed bugs, maggots."
I like to think that the person who sprinted down the hall, like, it's someone who works and they just stand in a closet all day, waiting for someone to pull it. And it's like then the door bursts open and they go running down the hall to save someone.
I remember that one too because they're like when you go into a country, they're like business or pleasure. And for some reason, someone had told me like, don't tell them business, tell them pleasure. And I was like, all right. And I asked the guy was like, hey, he's British. He's like, you here for business or pleasure? And I was like, pleasure. And he's like, cool. Oh, you have any friends at the Isle of Dogs? And I was like, no, my company put me there. He's like, I thought you were here for pleasure. And I was like,
Getting interrogated.
and I was like trying to get into the country, like, what have I done?
My company told me I needed to like take a chill pill and hang out for the weekend.
I was like,
I don't know.
my company booked it, but I just shit my pants right on the spot.
Smooth.
Border people are scary.
Yeah.
They can deny you entry into the country.
Yeah.
Like they're the final arbiter on that.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm done with my visa because at the end of the day, it was like just the discretion of the single person who I spoke to every time. I was like, that guy just doesn't like me. He can just tell me to like piss off back home.
I had a friend come and stay with me who he was telling me on his way out. He's like, yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble getting through security because my ID is kind of messed up. And he got to Austin. He managed to get through it. And he showed me his driver's license. His entire picture completely faded out. You cannot see who he is.
How does that happen?
The ID is expired by several months, and it can't be scanned because the back of it's faded. It's completely useless piece of plastic.
That must be a shitty wallet that he.
Oh,
has
I think so. But also, they let him through or he had like
It was a domestic flight.
yeah. But he had his insurance card that didn't have a picture, just had his name on it. He was like,
I've flown without ID.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
But they
just-
gave you a really hard time, probably, right?
Yeah, I had like all this secondary screening, and there was some other way to verify who I was somehow. Don't remember what. Yeah, it was a whole thing. It was really annoying.
Haven't lived through that nightmare, but goddamn, if you're ever like across border, you're out of country or whatever. Like, what? I guess I shouldn't ask. This is kind of a private thing, but do you have that paranoia with your passport? You know, while you're out of country, you're like, you just constantly.
I've never worried about that.
I
should.
stress stream.
I never worry about it. It's like, whatever. It's fine.
To me, my passport is a comfort thing on an
Yeah.
international flight because it's all you need, really. Like if ever I'm like, I'm forgetting something, sometimes I'm just like, but all I really need is this,
Yeah.
and everything else I can just replace.
I feel like with me, it's because I'm a creature of habit, and my passport's always like in the same pocket, in the same place. It's like, I know it's there. I only take it out to show it at the border, and then like, boom, right back in the same place. Like, there's no chance it's anywhere else.
Like it's there right now.
Yeah, it's absolutely there. It never moves. Yeah.
I had, go ahead.
I like keep mine in a specific spot in my house that I know where it is, because like that way, if I'm leaving the country, there's a whole ceremony around. I need to acquire the passport, and I'll like make sure I'm going through the motions of I have acquired it. I'm putting it in my pocket before I go to the airport, because God forbid you should get to the airport, you don't have your fucking passport. What if Esther's like cleaning out your bag one day and
I think it's not as big a deal for me because it's just because of the way I grew up. I grew up on the border, and at the time I grew up, you didn't need to show it crossing the border. Like I used to go to Mexico all the time and back to the U.S. It's like I never needed it.
Times are different though, guys.
You're right. It's just like, but I spent years doing that. Like as a teenager, as a young adult, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Mexico, do whatever, walk back, not a big deal. So it's like it doesn't strike me as like, oh my God, what a nightmare if I lose this.
I didn't have any when I first moved here. My passport was my only ID. So I had it on me all the time. I'd like take it to bars. It was in my pocket. It got all like completely knackered.
What do you do now, if you don't mind me asking?
I have a green card.
Oh. But that's just as scary, right? Like,
well,
to carry that
technically,
Is it in a system they can like look up at least or something?
my green card.
Yeah.
Because like if I lose my ID and say I got pulled over, I'm pretty sure they can just
find me in the system.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's
idiots.com
like
and they
a
find me.
thing. But I think technically I'm supposed to have my green card on me
Gotcha.
at all times.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Present it now.
We got him, boys. Move in.
This is it. We've been setting him up.
Yeah.
Oh, you do have it. Oh, never mind. Okay. Oh, look at you.
Oh. I had that scary moment. 2 months ago, we flew out to LA to do the Funhouse live show. And on the drive there, I was like, what would I do if I lost my wallet and everything on one of these work trips? I guess I'd just like use a company card or something like that. Thought nothing else of it. Get to LAX. And mind you, I flew through the airport with 2 huge Pelicans loaded with camera gear. I had like 100K worth of camera gear. So I'm freaking out about that the whole time. Standing at baggage claim, waiting for my bag to come through. I touch my left wallet pocket where my wallet always is, and it's empty. And then I hear at the exact same moment over the intercom, Kamrin Pester, please return to the Delta counter or something like that. And my heart rate must have tripled in that moment. It was terrible.
Had someone, I'm
Totally fine. I left it on the airplane like an idiot, but
fuck.
it
But
was,
some good citizen returned it then.
yeah, I almost freaked out. Oh, I did freak out. I was about to be like, well, I guess I live in LA now. Because I don't have a job, live in LA. These cameras are my only friends.
Those cameras in Craigslist.
Yes. Someone hire me. Ignore the Rooster Teeth labels on all these cameras. Give me work.
Oh yeah. I've never been through that. I've never lost an ID on a trip. I've talked about this before. I lost my ID once the night before a flight, but that was like pre-September 11th.
Is that when it fell down the lift?
No, that's a different story. It was like the day after my birthday. It was my 22nd birthday. I went out downtown Austin, got really drunk, had to fly for work the next morning, and then realized when I got to the airport, I left my ID at a bar. But it was like, since it was before September 11th, you're like, hey, it's me. I'm supposed to be on the plane. Can you let me on? They're like, yeah, come on down. Come on over.
It's you.
banging on the plane.
Yeah. Through.
Different times.
It's that paper. It's from the movie Benchwarmers. It's just a piece of paper with I am 11 on it or something and a $20 bill. Me, I'm Gus. Sure.
Just let me on. I'm supposed to be on there.
It's so funny how travel's so different. I remember when I came over here for a summer, I was like flying to different cities to set up booths and stuff. And you gave me a phone that must have cost like $20. It's like this big,
Yeah, I
like an old like T9 phone. I lost the charger like 2 weeks into my 3-month trip, and it lasted the entire trip.
Holy shit.
I just used to like turn it off, and when I wasn't using it, I would turn it on and use it for a bit if I needed to call Gus or like, hey, where's the? It lasted like 3 months before, and then it died.
But it didn't have a screen or anything, right? It's like it just.
Well, I had a screen. Yeah, I had a screen, but it was like it wasn't a smartphone or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like a completely different time where it's like now a phone will die in a day.
Do you think it's still charged somewhere?
It might be. I don't know what I did with that. I probably gave it back.
The half-life of this phone is 500 million years or something.
Would you ever consider going back to a dumb phone like a Nokia, or did you just tied to your?
Well, I don't use the phone bit.
It's the camera bit.
What's everything else?
Yeah.
It's the texty. Well,
Like if it still had texting and calling capabilities, could you go back to dumb phone?
No.
sure.
No.
Yesterday, slight tangent, slightly related. We went and got popsicles right at this popsicle truck over by us. And I was waiting for
Went out
you
to get popsicles.
Okay, well, Cameron and I are neighbors, and we do.
This truck pulled up to anyway, we go and get popsicles, and we had this whole thing planned for the day, and it's like 10 minutes past when we were supposed to go meet up, and my fiance Cedar was like, just call Blaine and see where he is, and I was like, I'm not gonna call him. Are you crazy?
It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know.
She was like, why wouldn't you just call him? I'm like, I would hate that. He would hate me. We would never talk again afterward.
Who's the last person I know that I've called?
On purpose.
If you get a call from someone without a text being like, hey, can I call you? It's like someone's
Emergency.
died.
Yeah.
Someone's dead.
I accidentally called my brother a week ago, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I've known you my entire life. I'm really sorry about this. I'll hang up now.
John called me on
Gross.
April 7th.
Did you see?
Why?
Yeah. If he called me, I think I'm getting fired.
I don't remember. April 7th. What were we doing? Oh, I think I was trying to get a hold of him because we were in the process of moving from the other place to here, and I was like taking some boxes. That's probably what that was.
Sometimes I'll have like minor work emergencies, and I'll call John, and I know for a fact John's got 2 phones.
He does.
I'm pretty sure he's a drug dealer because one of those is a burner. But like, we'll be in a recording, and then like one of his 2 or 3 phones will go off. He's just like, he's got a tablet that's not a kind of a small one, and then a big phone, and then like a normal size phone. So I don't know, but
How big is the smallest phone?
They're all big.
still, it's bigger than my iPhone.
They're all smart.
Why does he have 2 phones?
Well, he has like his personal one that's his, but then he has a separate one for filming things and that's logged into social media accounts for work.
But that one I think was also he had gotten it through like some deal. He
Yeah.
was like,
Because you can put 2 SIMs in the same phone.
I think his personal phone is older, and the newer phone has like a better camera and stuff.
personal phone also has he plays Pokemon Go on both of them. But then I think he has one Prime account that he trades the Pokemon onto that one.
There's some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
It's weird. Anyways, I still have like that. I have the time.
Did you lose your phone?
I
What are you doing? Are
fucking
you
lost
okay?
my. Oh, there it is. This is my ass. I have the little baby iPhone. I'm going backwards. I don't like big phones. I want the small ones. So I'm like, this is the smallest. It's the iPod.
I think people didn't
12
like those.
mini. What?
The minis.
You just call it an iPod?
iPhone 12 mini. Why would no one like this? Is great.
I think like they had to cut their production, and I think they're not going to make them anymore.
Motherfucker. This is.
Yeah, and like nobody bought
Yeah.
them.
Now they're 3 times as big.
I don't want a big phone. I like small.
I never wanted the Max version of phones until I held your Max. Like 2 years ago, like when they first came out the Max, you bought one. I was like, these seem stupid, and I held it, and I was like, when I held yours, it clicked to me. It's like, oh, I have big hands. And I was like, this is the phone for me.
dick.
I never knew it until I held it. I was like,
I like him just
this
for-
phone fits.
I don't particularly like using a big phone, but I watch so much stuff on my phone that it might as well be the biggest screen for a phone that I can get.
God
I-
damn it.
I made, for some reason, the pockets on men's pants are much bigger than the pockets that they make on women's pants. And the other day, I have like an iPad Mini, and I was walking around my house, and I turned to Esther and I said, "Hey, watch this!" And I took the iPad Mini and just put it straight into my blue jeans pockets, and it fit just fine. And she's like, "What the fuck? How can you fit an entire iPad in there?" It's just we did a
The
TikTok
iPad
about
Mini is
that.
no joke. It's like
It's bigger than that. Yeah, it's just it went just straight in.
I love the confidence of you walking around with that, and the first wall you bump into just
Shatters. Glass in your thigh.
It was worth it. So convenient.
I wish tech lasted so much longer. I feel like a current phone, if you use it for a year, the battery doesn't last a day.
You know,
and
we've-
it's such a pain to
Yeah.
replace.
Mine's it's what 5, and it's already at 8%. Like it's barely holding
8?
on. 8%.
Wow.
We shoot almost every single STF social video on my phone, and I don't know. I think that scientists need to test this phone because it has not like slowed down a beat.
Really?
And I mean, we have put like thousands of gigs of video onto that thing and dumped it off and put it back on. It's a good little workhorse. So I
How'd you get the
completely
footage
disagree
off?
with you guys, and I think that tech is great right now.
Really?
No,
you
it's
can go to
everything
your
else.
settings and check your battery health.
This is like my hippy dippy rant. I feel like humans should only
83%.
have had one car. Like you get allotted a car, and then you get to upgrade and change that car but that's just your one car. Because I feel like like you ever just look around and see how many fucking cars
But
there are?
cars don't last. Eventually, it gets to a point where it costs more to maintain the car than to get a new one.
Yeah, I know, but like it's interchangeable parts because it's all one car. So then if it's something
So there's
breaks
only-
in it, you just swap what?
One car on the market.
The Jeep
One car
model
on the
for
market.
everything. Blaine,
Ladies
what's
and
everyone
gentlemen, Blaine
driving
Gibson,
Jeeps?
communist.
Yeah.
No, it would work and it would cause a lot less waste.
There's cars now that
What kind of car would it be?
It would be a Jeep, obviously.
Jeep Wrangler?
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Wow, what a crazy.
Weird,
That's
huh?
shocking.
No, it would be something like I don't know, fucking Ford Focus. I don't know, the base model, and it would look real. It would look real simple and blocky.
Oh, like the ID Buzz.
but bigger.
Everyone gets an
bring it
ID
back.
Buzz. But you get an ID Buzz.
But then you get to make it bigger. You get to change it. Like they came out with a phone concept not long ago where they're like, you make your own phone and then you add in RAM as technology.
Who made
improves. I don't know, some like
Volkswagen.
startup company.
Would you buy a car? Would you buy a Jeep if they decided you shouldn't open the car up?
What does that mean?
Well, like this car's like I think it's like an electric Mercedes or something, where it's like the user can't open it.
User can't
Like
open
repair it?
There's like you
Right.
can't open the
Oh,
truck.
I mean, that's like true of like electric cars. You can't service those yourself. I mean, there's like minor service you can do.
You can
but
put
if,
the windshield washer fluid in.
yeah, you can do like the tiny little things, but like if your motor starts going in an electric car, don't play with it because you'll kill
Interesting.
yourself.
Yeah, I
you know?
don't care.
But just the idea of like the people who make it, even though you bought it, saying
Yeah.
don't open it.
Well,
It's like
Isn't
in
it right to
itself.
repair? Isn't that the
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
expression?
But I own like a, I remember being a kid and owning a PlayStation 2 and be like, I could clean out the fan, but I will break the void or void. I'm having a stroke. I would void the warranty.
Yeah,
I got there. Thank you.
writer director Blaine Gibson.
And that's the same thing, right? You just void the warranty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
but I
that's
think-
them.
I think there's like a lot of stuff in place now that like is more of a deterrent to open it. Like it'll break the thing if
Right.
you open it.
one
It'll
way
like break
screws
it
and
through
such.
software.
I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at half the time.
I think there was because I was looking through some. I like looking at what everyone's annoyed about when it comes to right to repair because I feel like if you own the thing, you should do what the hell you want. If I want to saw it in half, let me do it. But there's like a
Right
there
to
was-
destroy.
Right to destroy. I think there was a printer or something or a brand like a type of printer where if the ink got low or empty,
Oh, it just wouldn't let you print.
the
Right?
scanner doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
It's like just through
thing.
software. It's like, well, you got to replace the ink before you do anything else. It's like, but I want to scan though.
Or there's also the ones where like if your color ink runs out, it won't let you print black and white.
All that shit. All that
I don't
shit.
need
It's like, we need to be able to have backups in our stuff. We need to be like, oh, this doesn't work, but at least I can do this with it. And you never know what you're going to come up against in software.
Eventually down the road when they stop making ink for that printer,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's not even a scanner anymore. You
Yeah.
can't even do that.
We got to have dumb again.
Can you open up your little ink cartridges, put some like water in them or something like that, and be like, "See, it's all fine. Work now."
Oh.
Yeah, how does it know it's empty?
It's like putting water in your radiator or something. It'll work for now. Blaine, I love that you like repairing your Jeep and you like talking about repairing your Jeep. And every time you repair something on your Jeep, it starts there's always like, say you have to replace the bumper, there's two repair stories. There's the first time you tried to do it and it all went wrong, like the lock, right, on your door. And I feel like the first time you try to repair it, you're like, I learned a lot, and then it worked the second time. It's just it's the duality of Blaine, I guess, where it feels like it's like getting into woodworking to make your own table. You end up spending 3 times as much
Yeah.
and twice as long.
Yeah, but like I walk away with the knowledge of knowing how to. Like I could fix and replace the down to the tumblers and all that stuff. Like I know exactly what is happening when my key enters into both the ignition and the door lock.
Yeah,
And it makes me happy, and it also like helps me like in the future. Like if someone else has that problem, I'm there and I can be like, oh,
True.
let me fix that for you.
I've recently, I don't know why, I've recently gotten into like making beans at home.
Beans?
Yeah, beans.
Growing them or
No, like cooking them. And like
That's
whenever
just-
I cook,
that's just cooking,
Right,
Gus.
whenever I cook, but like it takes a long time. Like beans take forever. And whenever I cook beans,
So I'm sorry. What part of the bean phase, the cooking, are you drying beans out and then like?
have you ever cooked dried beans? It takes like 11 hours.
So you're saying
Oh,
like
okay,
you get
okay,
like
okay.
the dried beans in the bag like with
Right.
rice?
Gotcha.
Oh,
Have you ever
never
dug
done
a
that.
hole and cooked them in there?
No, have you?
Why? Why?
And it's a similar thing where like it ends up costing way more. Like
Yeah.
this, like I can buy beans at a restaurant for like 99 cents for a pint of it or whatever. It's like, no, I'm going to spend like $5 making like a
Why
pot
is
of
everyone willing to go the extra mile on beans?
Because it's just like you make it exactly how you want, all the right taste. But
Why do you want your beans so specific?
I had a realization
Okay.
when I was making beans the other day. Like when I bought a bag of beans for the first time, and like I was washing them, and
Eric's losing his mind.
I used to make beans all the time. Like it was something I did when I was a little boy. Like my grandmother would have me like wash the beans, and I'd go through them and look for rocks to like take out the rocks because she would buy them in bulk. And then she told me when I was a little kid, like any of the broken beans, you have to throw them away because they're poisonous. So like I'm rinsing the beans and I'm like going through like I got to take all these broken beans out because they're. Oh my God, my grandmother was just giving me busy work, wasn't she?
Poisonous?
I was like, broken beans aren't poisonous.
As a kid,
She
you're
was
like,
just having me do that to keep me busy and to make sure I was pulling the rocks out.
as a kid, you're like, yeah, this bean had so much arsenic in it, it burst in two. I have to get rid of it.
It's like, how much shit like that have you gone
That's
through as a
terrible.
child and you don't realize it? Like, some adult told you something and you took it so seriously and you haven't thought about it in decades.
Did you just pay it forward? You're like, hey, Esther, can you get all the poisonous beans out?
Well, Esther was like, what are you doing? It's like, that's what happens. I'm taking all the broken pieces out because they're poison. They're not poisonous. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I feel like there's a lot to do with like masturbation was one of them. There's a bunch of like fake shit to stop you from masturbating. And then I think also my mom didn't want me to eat because she caught me eating on the toilet one time, and she
The poo particles in the air. You got to be careful, right?
I don't know, she just didn't like it.
I mean, I would be very concerned. But I guess.
Gus, can you share your bean recipe?
I'm still working on it. I will as soon as it's perfected.
He's looking for the perfect tone when he farts. It's just got to be like it's just.
Blaine, when you were
trumpety.
eating on the toilet, did it feel like, well, this is all there is? Like, this is life? Like, this is, it's just in and out?
That's
like,
in and out.
That's
Yeah.
the food chain right there.
Did you try and file one out for every bite you took? So it was like straight down? I just finished editing the beanhole video today. The full beanhole.
What is it? What's the whole video?
We, Jeff and I,
Is fuckface?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Buried some beans a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
What?
Wasn't great.
Well, okay.
Believe
So-
it or not, I have trouble believing that it didn't go great just burying beans. Huh?
They weren't just loose beans in dirt. We had like a pot and
Okay.
yeah.
It was so close.
Eric had some beans.
Oh, I
This
had,
close to greatness.
it really, we had some almost well-cooked beans. Gavin had like seconds. Emily's dad had like 4 helpings of these undercooked
Wow.
beans.
They were edible.
Beans need a lot of water and a lot of salt. That's what I've discovered in my brief
Maybe
foray
we should
into
have
bean
consulted
making.
you when we did the beanhole.
It was weird how much shit I remembered from being a little kid helping my grandmother make beans, like the poisonous beans.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I actually know how to do this. Like getting all the shit I needed, putting it all together. I was like, I can do this. It's actually really easy. It just takes a long time. Y'all laughed at me. It takes a fucking long time.
I can't wait for Gus.
I started some beans. I started some beans on the slow cooker this morning before I came into work.
Are you having beans today?
They'll be ready when I get home.
Ah, nice.
Esther's like, not again.
He just
Guess
smells
what's
like
for
shit.
dinner? This time I put a little more cumin.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, it is kind of warm in here, isn't it?
Can you make beans and bring them into the office for us?
Yeah.
Love to try your beans.
Oh, can we have,
That'd be really cool.
can we
A
have
bean
beans
off?
next week?
We need to make steaks.
Now listen to us. We're like, Gus, can we have beans?
Did we forget to do
Oh,
the
yeah.
steak off for the last 3 years?
I think we couldn't because of COVID protocols. But I think
Why don't we have-
now.
But that's done now. It's in the past. Yeah.
Why don't we have steak and beans?
Do you
Cla-
want
the
to do
classic.
that? We have 700 coming up.
I just realized podcast 700's in 2 weeks. Right before the show started, I was like, oh shit, this is 698.
What was the last steak off?
It was in
When was
2019.
COVID?
Yeah.
Was that
It was May 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what was the year where I put a Big Mac in the steak?
It was that year.
Was that one?
Yeah.
It must have been.
It's been over 3 years. It's been over 3 years since that happened.
Wow.
Huh. Let's do a steak off.
Are you still the same man that would put a Big Mac in a steak?
I put someone else in a steak probably.
Okay. Let's
Okay. I'll.
But I don't want to make steak.
What the?
I'm not. My
beans.
steak was lousy.
about
Gus-
beans
You
now.
just said let's do steak off.
Yeah, but let's get other
He
people.
means he wants to eat steak. That's why I don't like doing it,
The
because it means I'm going to make
classic
steaks.
steak off was Gus and Bernie doing it. Gus is still here. Gus
Okay.
can make a steak.
Great. Now I just fucking got work for myself. Thanks. I've been trying to make a career out of doing as little
But
work
you're
as
into
possible.
beans. You're doing that for fun. Get beans.
No, I'm gonna make
involved.
beans and a steak.
All right, forget the steak. Let's just do beans.
We're doing a bean off?
I think we should do the bean off 2022.
Episode 700. It's 12 and a half hours long.
Beans. You have to start on Sunday night.
Did you ever go to what would the English version of a chili cook-off be? Did you guys ever have those? Anything like that?
Bangers
bake-off?
and mash cook-off.
A bake-off? Or like the Great British Bake Off? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, sure.
Did you ever go to those? Like, we live in Texas.
We had a chili cook-off at the office right before. It was like the same, like a month before COVID happened.
Really?
Yeah, we
doing
did.
your own
And it
cook-offs?
was really good.
I didn't go to that.
I don't think that was an official food event.
Andre from Post made like the best vegan chili I've ever had. Shout out to Andre.
Fair
Bring it
play.
back.
Yeah, that shit was awesome. I remember like distinctly Anderson Elementary. You just go around. Everyone had their crock pots filled with chili, and you just go around and just like get a little couple of beans, and then you judge. Oh, this is my favorite beans.
Oh, so you got beans in the chili, huh?
If
Yeah.
we do,
Well, it's chili, dude, but I like them on beans. Sorry, Gavin.
if we do a bean, well, you're already talking. There's no need to apologize. If we do a bean off, I'll participate.
Okay.
Cooking.
As in, I'll make it.
we can't because
what do you like? Have you made beans before?
No.
Okay,
I never really made
when
a
you
steak
say I'll
before.
participate, you're just sort of guessing at what it takes to make beans.
Spoiler alert: he's gonna get a can of Van Camps and then call it a day.
I'm gonna put some beans in a Big Mac.
the Bean Mac. Enjoy.
We'll figure it out. We're figuring it out live. No
This
promises
is
on
going to
any of
be
this
really what an episode. Okay, we'll figure out the bean off.
I think Barbara should make beans too.
stuff. She's not
Okay.
here, though. We'll ask her.
Are we volunteering her for beans?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean to get like gross, but there is a bean at HEB. It's black beans with jalapeno bits. And those things, I remember not being able to sleep because I had the most rancid fucking farts. Like, I remember, like, on the verge of tears because I could not sleep because of my own fucking farts. And they would not stop coming. I was like,
I like the way you started this. There is a bean at HEB.
Single.
there's a can of beans, a type of beans.
Who makes it? Is it an HEB brand?
It's not like Goya or anything. I think it is. It's either the Valley, whatever. Like it's like one of their in-home brands. I'm pretty sure.
Why don't we do this? You have a couple of cans of them. We'll put you in a coffin.
No, we put Gavin back in the coffin. Blaine farts into
no.
the air
Is it-
hole.
Is it the HEB black beans with lime and jalapeno?
Yeah, let me see. Do you have the picture?
I'm pulling it up right now.
HE beans.
It's gonna make me shit my pants just looking at it. That's the one, bro. I fucking
What?
died.
$1.09 a
Get
can.
those.
Oh, because like for a while ago, all I ate every night for dinner, this is when I was like the most ripped I've ever been, was a half pound of ground beef and a can of beans and a can of Rotel.
Oh my god.
And it's just like that's all I fucking did for dinner. And yeah. It tore my insides
I
out.
really want to try these beans tonight.
Yeah.
Those beans?
Just pick up a can.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Meg will break up with you. It's fucking bad, dude. They destroyed me, man.
Interesting.
This is gonna be. We're gonna call this the bean episode.
Yeah.
This one's the bean episode?
We're
700 is the
talking all
bean.
about beans now.
Right, but we're talking about making beans
Well, that's
on
the making.
700.
That's the
Why would
making
that-
bean episode.
Can we do a poll for the chat, steak or beans?
Right now?
Yeah,
You
why
wanna
not?
Do a poll in the chat. Steak.
Well,
or
what do
beans?
the people
also,
want?
I mean, they can leave comments too watching this, but can we get a poll that's steak or beans?
Because we don't want to. If they want an original steak off, we should do steak. But I'm just saying,
Do you think beans are going to win? I don't think beans are going to win, buddy.
maybe not. Maybe we don't do
I don't
beans,
know.
but
It's kind
maybe
of
we
the
put it
talk
up
of
to
town
the
right
people.
I'm team beans.
Yeah.
I'm a big bean guy.
What can you do with beans?
That's what I'm
in a
asking
podcast
Gavin, but he
episode.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
He
It's what
says,
you
"I'll
put.
Participate.
What you put in it. What you put in the beans.
Yeah, it's like a. It's almost like you're making a soup.
Yeah.
It's like once you
What
drink the
flavor
broth.
is it going to
Yeah.
soak into the beans?
I'm with Gavin. There's a lot that goes into bean making.
Yeah, stop being such a beanie weenie.
I'm not. Listen, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that he doesn't know what goes into beans. That's all.
No, he has no idea.
He can learn before 2 weeks from
Is
now.
that what's going to happen?
Oh no, the poll is up and steak is winning.
Oh, steak's
Why would
winning?
you guys want steak over beans?
I voted for beans.
Nostalgia.
I'm a big
Oh,
bean
Wins
guy.
again.
there's 3 votes so far. I was like, whoa.
I know it's number 1 and number 2. It's not that there's 3 votes.
Oh, it's not the number of votes.
Oh,
it
we're
just says
swinging
the
back.
number.
How hard can we influence
It's because in
this?
chat, if you're like on a phone, you can vote using like #1 or #2.
So I can vote?
Yeah. You go to the chat and type either #1 or
Hell
#2.
yeah. Oh, that's my face.
Beans are winning.
Eric's been coming over in the mornings to work out with me, and the other day I had to rip a huge toot, and I was nice enough to step out. I think that was a big sign of maturity and respect for you, Eric. I stepped out of my own garage.
I did notice that. Thank you. I've
Yeah.
also done the same. I just didn't tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
You stepped out at one point, and I was like, "Oh, he must be going to throw up or something." And you
No.
were just out there just tooting.
How do I vote?
That's nice.
Either like #1 or #2.
Pound.
Pound 2, right? Or
#2 is beans.
Pound 2 is beans.
In
Let us know in the comments of this also, please, if you want steak or beans.
I voted.
if you would like steak or beans with your podcast.
Looks like beans are winning.
beans are winning.
What's your favorite type of bean? Red kidney, black-eyed pea.
It's got to be like a
Garbanzo.
kidney bean that gets made into like pinto beans, like stereotypical when you think of like Mexican food beans.
Oh, I think of the mushed beans.
Refried?
Yes.
like a baby.
No.
Is that the same
Refried's
bean?
good. Refried's good. Yeah, you essentially take those pinto beans and then you fry them up again. You put a bunch of lard in a pan and you mush those beans up.
Oh,
Lard?
Yeah.
They're good for you too.
Lard beans.
so good. Are they really?
No, God no. He
Okay,
just
I was
said a
gonna
bunch of lard in the pan. They're worse for you than the magic farting beans that you accidentally ate.
I've been making
Beans are dominating, by the way. Beans are wiping the floor.
good.
So you've been proven wrong, Eric.
You're right. I'm wrong. People want beans.
These people have gotten steak content on the internet already. You know what's fresh and new, what the kids want? Gen Z is all about beans. We're going to stay hip. We're going to make bean TikTok.
Somebody
we got
call
the market
Kayla,
cornered.
See what's up with beans.
Yeah, we
How
dug
do
a
you
whole
bean?
bean hole for content.
Yeah.
Beans are in.
Beans are hot. You
Beans
just
are
don't know
hot
it yet.
right now.
Unless they're in Jeff's hole.
Yeah, then they're cold. Those are cold beans. And you'll feel the ground, but that's just where the sun is.
What is a navy bean? Have you ever heard of a navy? No. So like I started making chicken tortilla soup and it calls for navy beans, and it's the same thing as like a barbecue bean, but it's like it's not.
Is it a big white bean?
Yes.
Yeah. What is
Yes.
that? What is that?
It's just a white bean. It's a different kind of bean.
What's the name?
Navy bean.
No. What?
No, he says.
The Navy has not been around longer than these beans.
I don't think-
So
How do
they
you
had
know
a
that?
name before beans.
How do you know that?
What do you mean? They started calling them Navy beans because in the like when the U.S. Navy was feeding their troops, they give
No,
them
they
Navy
call it a
beans.
navy because these beans are found in the
Shut
ocean.
the fuck up! Stop doing this to me! Stop doing this to me! You've
Why
been
are
doing
they
this
called Pokemon if the Pokeball was invented after the Mon?
No.
Why would they be called Pocket Monsters before they could fit in someone's pocket?
Good point.
Okay, well that's a video game. This is real life.
But the name Navy bean is an American term coined because the U.S. Navy has served the beans as a staple to its sailors since the mid 1800s.
Just told you I don't care. What's the name of the Navy bean though? You just repeated the same words back to me, but from Wikipedia.
I don't think we're
know the
supposed to
name.
know.
White pea bean.
Haricot, pearl haricot bean, Boston bean, white pea bean, pea bean.
No, stop calling it Boston bean.
Boston bean doesn't work.
These beans were around before Boston.
What is the biggest bean?
Mister, I think.
Good night, everybody. That's Kamrin.
Kidney, red kidney.
The bean. Oh, it's that bean in Chicago.
The big
Yeah,
mirror bean?
That one.
Yeah.
What is that thing called?
The one that Eric stared up
bean?
into and it sent him to hell.
Did you not like being next to that?
Oh, it's
I
tough.
went in like the middle of it. We were like taking pictures, and I looked up at like the bottom, and I like went to another. It was like taking DMT.
Yeah.
It was like I just went like somewhere else, and I didn't feel good, and it hurt my eyes. It like I mean, it gave me like chameleon eyes where they went like different directions. It like made me sick.
Was it just like the visual like?
It's the angle
kaleidoscope?
of it, and just standing. It just felt very weird.
It's also-
it felt like it was gonna like reach out and grab me Annihilation style. I didn't like it.
Cool.
It's super dark underneath it because you're under a big metal object, but you can see the reflection of like the blown out city around.
Because it's
you.
like bouncing
Yeah,
reflections.
it's quite.
and-
If you go watch the behind the scenes of the Face Jam live show, you can watch Eric and Michael basically have seizures staring up into the bean.
cool.
Yeah, well worth it.
This is not bean related. I just remember.
I don't want to talk.
I don't know
about
if
it
I'm
then.
ready.
I have like a conspiracy theory.
Oh yes,
I do any of you ever go through and check your spam email?
yes.
How much time do you have?
Well,
It's not about time. It's about how much anxiety you have that you just missed something that got sent to spam.
I do.
well,
Why?
I started going through it recently because I realized for some reason some people would send me calendar invites, and like the invite would show up on my calendar, but the actual email notification was going to spam for some reason.
Clever.
So like I've been trying to be a little more diligent about checking my spam folder and marking stuff not spam. I went through my spam folder the other day, and I found an email that looked like a total 100% scam. It was like, you are invited to participate in a class action lawsuit against, whatever, this company. I was like, oh, this is a scam. So like I Googled it. I was like, oh no, this is actually a real lawsuit. It's like, I was like, I'm gonna Google it. Like, I'm not gonna click on any links in this email. I Googled it and it's like, this is the website for the class action lawsuit settlement. I was like, oh, that's the website it says in the email. Then in the email, it's like, this is your claim ID and this is your, whatever, your number you need to put in the website. So I typed those numbers in to the website I found independently. It was like, and it pulled up all of my information. I was like, that was a real like class action lawsuit settlement notification that I bet they intentionally tried to make it look like spam so that people wouldn't claim it, so it's more money for the lawyers in the end.
Weird.
Oh, so it came from the lawyers?
Well, it comes from like the settlement company.
Yeah.
And if the money goes unclaimed, then any money that's left over goes to legal.
So then they make it sketch looking.
Right, so not enough
intentionally.
people claim it.
So then, if less people claim it, then that means that like the people that do claim it, they get more.
I'll let you know when I get my money.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
how
did you
much
get
are
your
you
70
entitled-
Well, I haven't gotten anything. This was just last week. I just filled it out.
Okay.
Gus is like rubbing his hands together. He's like, I beat the system. Then he gets a check for like 80 cents. Right.
This is bean money.
So he's looking at his 10-gallon pot of beans and thinking, this is going right back into you. I'm getting a whole bean, not even split in half this one. Are those normally scams, those emails?
I think a lot of times they are. Where it's like, because it's an easy way to get you to type in information. Your name, birthday.
Sometimes I get like people reaching out to my work, like my business, private, whatever email, and they'll be like, "Hey, I work for this company. You have a following. Do you want to do this kind of shit? We'll send you some free stuff, yada yada yada." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure. It's fun, and I get free bullshit." DPS, like the Department of is it Texas Department of Transportation? What is that? TDOT. Yeah.
The people who make the roads?
No.
TxDOT? I know.
Why do I say
I know what he's
DPS?
talking about.
I don't know. Anyways,
Skip it.
they're like, hey, we're running this campaign. Whoever they are, the driving people, about those guys that we're trying to stop drinking and driving, and we wanted to reach out to see if you'd participate. Oh yeah, of course, I'd love to and stuff like that. But then like they asked like, hey, you got to send us your driver's license and your address and like all this very personal information.
Why?
Because because I asked and I was like, according to them, they want to check that I don't have like a DUI or drinking, driving, anything on like that under my record.
You
And
just
that's like-
gave them that info?
No, they've reached out twice, and I feel like every time they asked that point, I always I just stop responding. Don't drink and drive. That's a free one. Texas Department of Transportation.
DPS.
What? I just said DPS. What do they mean?
You didn't know what it was. You keep saying Department of Transportation. Do you think Department of Transportation is DPS?
What is DPS?
Department of Public Safety.
Is the DPS. There you go. DPS, that one's for free. Don't drink and drive. But yeah, I'm not going to give you my driver's license.
Don't drink and drive. That'll be $500. You can't. I won't sell out.
Yeah, I feel like if someone contacts you, then just don't give any information.
Yeah, that's why I
Or give
went.
fake information.
Like when I saw it, like I went to the website, put the info in, and then it loaded my information. I was like, okay, they already have it. They're not like making me type anything in. But yeah, the same thing. Like, no,
Wait,
you.
fuck, did I send them my information?
Oh no.
Sorry, like when you like think about something, you're like, wait, did I do the thing that I thought I didn't do?
You're like, yeah, here's my driver's license number and my address. You need my social security?
What about my mom's maiden name and the
Gotcha.
street I grew up on, just for a good measure?
You didn't ask for it, but
First
here's the
pet's
pin
name.
to my debit card as well, just in case.
I was expecting a call the other day for, I don't know, for work or something. So I answered my phone because I'm like, oh, I never answer my phone.
Terrifying.
But it was a scam call, like a Indian call center scam call.
Uh-huh.
But I just thought, I was like, I like those scam beta videos, so I'll just string him along, waste some time for a bit, just chatting to him. And eventually he knew I was wasting his time because he asked me for, I think, my insurance card number. I think it was like a CVS scam. So I was like, yeah, you ready? 1, 2. 2, 3. I got to like 4, and he was like, "Do you have the card in your hand?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Shove it up your ass." And I was like, it's like he was checking that it was in my hand.
I love when they get mad because it's like,
You
please,
got
I'm
them.
trying to scam people and you're wasting my time.
I remember once years ago when we were still in the apartment down in Buda, Jeff used to run the store, and he was trying to, I don't know what it was specifically. We'll have him on the podcast next week. I'll ask him. He was trying to order something for the store. It was like shirt blanks or something. And he was on the phone with the manufacturers, like, yeah, he's trying to place the order. And I could only hear Jeff's part of the conversation. And he was like, yeah, we're a small company. I don't have a PO for you, PO order, like a PO number for you. I'm just placing the order right now. He's like, no, I don't have a PO number for you. It's like, it's just me. I'm just placing the order right now. It's like, I don't have a PO number. Okay, fine. Ready? 7, 3, 5, 8. He just went and just like said like this 16-digit long number. He's like, that's the PO number.
1. It's just 1. Send it to 1. I don't care.
It's weird when it's like, you don't have that. It's like someone's trying to make you work into their system. It's like, it just doesn't fucking exist. It's so frustrating.
I don't think I followed up with them. I'm checking, and and each time it did drop off because I was like, "Why do you need this?" And they're like, "Because our client wants to check that you are not an irresponsible driver." And then I stopped responding. So they must think that I'm an irresponsible driver.
Yeah,
then.
definitely.
So, how long did it take you to get the card in there?
I had to fold it to get it up there, but I got it up there in the end.
Yeah, I think those like scam baiting videos are entertaining, but I never have. I don't want to do that.
I watched-
It's like,
I mean, I wouldn't seek it out, but I was like, well, while I'm on the phone, I never answer the phone, so I thought,
I watched Jessica Vasami do it in person in the live action office once. Someone was scam calling her for like the 3rd day in a row, and she was just like, she started pretending to panic, and she talked to them for a while, and she's like, "I'm so sorry. My dad is actually a field marshal. He works for the FBI. Can I bring him into the phone call as well?" And the person was like, "Let me get my supervisor." And they like shut down. Like 2 minutes later, though, they come back and they're like, "My supervisor's on the line. Who did you need to bring into the call?" And then it ended there. But it was about 30 minutes of
wow, that's good. That's good.
incredible time wasting.
I don't give them the time of day. I think typically I just yell "fuck off" and then I hang up. I'm so tired of
And
it.
they're probably like, "Gladly, I hate my job."
So did you just answer a strange number?
Typically I'll just hang up. But if it's like a 512, then I will. And then if they're like, whatever their fucking spiel is, I'll just, yeah.
yeah, usually it's only if I'm expecting a call. Like
Yeah.
if there's a window, like you said,
Yeah.
like I'm expecting a call. I don't know what number it's going to come from. I'll be answering right then. But otherwise, no.
The new one that I didn't think I'd ever have to deal with that I'm now dealing with, since I bought my house, people are offering to buy my house, and they're acting like the whole process of buying a house is just fucking realtors always trying to like get your money, and it's just really obnoxious, and they're just terrible most of the time. I'm not saying all realtors are bad, but yeah, those are the guys that I constantly get the fucking calls from. And they always, the best part about it is none of them have said my name right once. It's Dwayne, it's Blake, it's Brian. It's like, God,
Do you ever get this one? I get this one, I feel like often enough to where it's a pattern where I'll get a phone call and they'll leave a message and it's like, "Hey, this is so-and-so with whatever asphalt company. We're going to be doing some work in your area. If you got it, we're already going to be out there with a crew. If you got any work you want us to do, let us know. Give us a call at this number." It's like, what? No, fuck off. I know there's no work. None of my neighbors are having anything done. Like, how'd you get my number? How do you know where I am? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
You're gonna drive down the street next week, and there's gonna be some guys doing some road repair, and they're like, "Gus, hey, we called you. Just the other. Did you need? Okay,
Did you need a new road in your house?
we're gonna go knock your mailbox over, so that we have to put another one up for you."
the best decision I ever made was hanging a no soliciting thing in front of my house, because that's my neighbor who's just getting hit constantly, and I'm just like, fuck off.
That works.
Yeah, see,
Or you can just tell. You can also just tell people I rent, and they'll just be like, "Oh, you have no power here. Gotcha. I'll leave." And it works perfectly every time. They have no idea.
smart.
Yeah, I don't know. I like talking to those people sometimes. Not because I am ever going to buy their service, because I'm cheap and I won't do that. But they're usually like nice people who really hate that they have to bother you. So if you just like are a little like,
But if you have no intention on buying it,
Yeah, waste their time.
You're just wasting their time.
Yeah,
Just let them get on their
They
way.
get to. They're probably not making commission, so
Oh.
they're just they need to be there for 8 hours and check off all the houses. So just tell them you like their shoes, and then be like, you got nice shoes. It's really hot out, and then 30 minutes later,
How much
they're
time
like,
do you have?
yeah, exactly. Then they stop showing up at your house after a while, and they probably think you're weird. So
You're like,
Trade
whatever
off.
you do, don't wear your nice shoes to that house.
yeah,
That guy never shuts up about them. Yeah. I can hear Eric frantically typing on my.
What are you typing, Eric?
What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Is that coming up?
RTX is coming up July
Oh.
1st to 3rd. He wrote plug RTX and let's go home.
boom, boom, boom.
Go to rtxevent.com. There's badges on sale now. While you're there, you can also see we have Very Normal Podcast Tour going on. I don't know if there's any tickets for that available at the moment. Do we have tickets on that? Oh, yeah. Our annual pass is up there. I'm going to pull up the information about that because I don't have that off the top of my head. Its annual pass is May 19th in Orlando, Florida. It's annual pass in Super Carlin Brothers. So go to rtxevent.com and get information about Very Normal Podcast Tour and about RTX. Again, RTX July 1st to 3rd here in Austin, back in person for the first time since 2019. Come down, come see us, but not on the podcast anymore because we're done. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
No beans
Bye.
next week.